Hello, fifth graders. Today's work, it has to center on the week 5 assignment, calculating the area of polygons. Your week 5 math at home learning activities has a pretty challenging activity where you have to be able to calculate the area of several different types of polygons, including rectangles, trapezoids, parallelograms, and such. I'm going to introduce calculating a few of those areas with you. Okay, what is area? First, we got to get that down pat. Area is simply the measurement of the space inside of a polygon. There's a mathematical way of going about doing that. Since you wouldn't measure area as a series of squares within a particular polygon, let's take a look at this rectangle here. The easiest way to calculate it is to know the measurement of the length and the measurement of the width, and simply multiply those two together. Length times width equals area. Your parents use this a lot when they have to do things like, for instance, buying carpet or buying tiles to tile up a bathroom or a kitchen. Okay. All right, then let's imagine we have a rectangle with these measurements. Let's say the length, which goes this direction, think of how long the rectangle is 7 inches. And then the width, how wide the rectangle is 9.5 inches. We simply multiply those two values together. You can see it down here. 9.5 times 7 equals a grand total of 66 and 5/10 square inches. Whenever you label your area, you have to remember it's square inches. A little inch with a little superscript 2 above it will do the job. So there's your measurement. That's the area of that particular rectangle. All right, now, when you do other types of polygons, though, the terminology can change a little bit. For instance, in a triangle, if you have a triangle, the height is simply the distance between the bottom part of your triangle all the way up to the top angle. That's the height. And then simply the length is the base. You can think of the base as the side that the triangle sits on. If you want to calculate the area of that triangle, you'll multiply 1/2 the length of the base times the height. You don't need to multiply the height times 1/2. So, for example, let's take a look at this triangle here. The height is 5.5 centimeters. The base is 12 centimeters. We're going to take that base and simply multiply it times 1/2. That also means you can cut that distance in half, so that's a pretty easy calculation. It's 6 centimeters. Okay, then you go ahead and take your 6 centimeters and multiply it times 5.5. I went ahead and changed them both to improper fractions. 6 translates to 6/1, and then 5.5 translate to 11 halves. I did a little simplification because that'll make your life easier as well. And it simplifies down to 3/1 times 11/1. That's a pretty easy multiplication. Grand total 33. The area of that polygon, 33 square centimeters. Okay, now, like I said, week 5 math activity is you take two shapes like those, two polygons, and what numbers could you insert into the to the measurements of both those polygons to make them exactly the same. Okay, and while you figure that out, please remember to send it back to me by Friday. And now, back to the coffee.